All Nippon Airways, ANA, Flight 58 was a Japanese domestic flight from Chitose Airport to Haneda Airport, operated by All Nippon Airways, ANA. On July 30, 1971, at 2:04 local time, a Japan Air Self-Defense Force, JASDF, F-86F Sabre jet fighter collided with the Boeing 727 airliner operating the flight, causing both aircraft to crash. All 162 people aboard the airliner were killed, while the Sabre pilot, a trainee with the JASDF, freed himself from his airplane after the collision and parachuted to safety. This incident led to the resignation of both the head of Japan's defense agency and the JASDF chief of staff. Yes, the accident on All Nippon Airways Flight 58 was one of the most fatal aviation incidents in Japan at the time. The collision occurred when a Japan Air Self-Defense Force, JASDF, F-86F Sabre jet, piloted by trainee Kazuo Fukuda, collided with the Boeing 727-281 airliner. The Sabre pilot ejected safely, but all 162 passengers and crew aboard the Boeing 727 perished. Key details of the incident: date, July 30, 1971. Location, near Shizukishi, Iwate Prefecture, Japan. Cause, mid-air collision due to an unauthorized maneuver by the trainee pilot. Aerial involvement, ANA Flight 58, Boeing 727-281, JA-8329. JSDF Training Jet, F-86F Sabre. Casualties, Boeing 727, 162 fatalities, all on board. F-86F pilot, survived, ejected safely. Consequences of the crash: the Japan Defense Agency Director General and the JASDF Chief of Staff resigned due to public outrage. The incident intensified scrutiny of military training flights over civilian airspace. It remains one of the deadliest mid-air collisions in aviation history. Would you like more details on the investigation or its impact on aviation policies? All Nippon Airways Flight 58 disaster. The All Nippon Airways, ANA, Flight 58 disaster was a tragic mid-air collision that occurred on July 30, 1971. It involved a Japan Air Self-Defense Force, JASDF, F-86F Sabre fighter jet and a Boeing 727 airliner. The crash resulted in the deaths of all 162 people aboard the ANA flight and remains one of the deadliest aviation accidents in Japan's history. Incident overview. Date, July 30, 1971. Time, 2:04 p.m. local time, JST. Location, near Shizukishi, Iwate Prefecture, Japan. The flight path, departure, Chitose Airport, CTS, Sapporo. Haneda Airport, HND, Tokyo, is your destination. Aerial involvement, ANA Flight 58, Boeing 727-281, registration, JA-8329. JSDF fighter jet, F-86F Sabre. Sequence of events. The flight, ANA Flight 58 was a scheduled domestic flight from Chitose Airport, Sapporo, to Haneda Airport, Tokyo. There were 7 crew members and 155 passengers aboard the Boeing 727. The exercise for JSDF training, nearby, 2 JASDF F-86F Sabre fighter jets were engaging in training exercises. The lead jet was piloted by an instructor, while the second was flown by Kazuo Fukuda, a 22-year-old trainee pilot. The collision. During the exercise, trainee Fukuda attempted an unauthorized maneuver to get a closer look at the ANA airliner. The F-86F collided with the left wing of the Boeing 727, shearing it off. The airliner lost control and went into a fatal dive, breaking apart mid-air before crashing into the ground. Survival: the Boeing 727 disintegrated in mid-air, killing all 162 people aboard instantly. Kazuo Fukuda ejected from his jet using a parachute and survived the crash. Aftermath and investigation. The investigation concluded that the JASDF pilot was at fault for the crash. Fukuda admitted that he was attempting to get a closer look at the civilian jet. This led to the resignation of both, the Japan Defense Agency Director General, the JASDF Chief of Staff. Changes and effects. Stricter flight regulations were implemented to prevent military aircraft from interfering with civilian flights. JASDF training protocols were revised to improve safety measures. One of Japan's worst aviation disasters, the incident raised serious concerns about the safety of military flights near civilian routes.